He did make the weight over 40 minutes, but the thing that is the craziest is the fact that the weigh-in was yesterday, so more than 24 hours ago. So Lou Gent has had plenty of time to get himself back together physically, to rehydrate himself. In the old days, Dan, the weigh-in was always 8 hours before the fight, but in this new era of boxing, it's one of the crazy things that's happened, that you just don't get penalized when you come in and don't make the championship weight limit.
All right, let's go up into the ring and get the flavor of the introductions from ring announcer Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing in the red corner with the maroon shorts, with 22 wins and 2 draws from 32 contests, 11 inside the distance from Streatham in South London, the reigning WBC champion, Gent. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the black shorts, with 36 wins from 38 contests, 31 inside the distance from West Ham in East London, the reigning WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Nigel the Dark Destroyer Benn.
All right, this fight will be governed by the WBC rules. Scoring is on the 10-point must system. The 3 knockdown rule and the standing 8 are not in effect. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round, and the doctor can't stop the fight. Only the referee has that authority. And our referee for the bout is Larry O'Connell from England. And our 3 judges, Mickey Vann from England, Adrian Morgan from Wales, and Bill Rafferty from Scotland. All right, Alex, the fighters are going to get their final instructions from referee Larry O'Connell. How do you see this thing unfolding early?
Well, Dan, we said that Nigel's going to come out and fight all out again. He thinks that Lou Gent is tailor-made because he comes to fight. He's not one of those moving boxers who've given him trouble in the past. One thing to look for, Dan, Nigel has become less of a headhunter and a better body puncher, and Lou Gent has been very vulnerable to the body.
And here we go. Anything can happen. This might last 30 seconds or 12 rounds. It's scheduled for a dozen. Not many people give it a chance of going the distance.
From Lou Gent's point of view, we talked about Nigel's strategy. Lou Gent must give Nigel Benn respect, but not so much respect that he doesn't let his hands go. He's got to use that jab. He shot right there, missed with it. Use that jab to keep Nigel out of range. There's the good body punch there with the left hand by Nigel Benn. And Lou Gent had used some boxing skill and his courage, really, his resiliency to frustrate the champion and then go into the later rounds where he can test his stamina and test his chin. Always tremendous atmosphere at a British fight.
Oh, there was a good right hand by Nigel Benn that caught the chin of Lou Gent. It didn't stagger him by any means, but it definitely got over the left hand of Gent and got in there, and you've seen Gent come up short with his right hand. He's been 6 inches short with the ones he's thrown. Again, does no damage.
You see Lou all tucked in. I mean, he looks with the tattoos all over him, and just like he's just going to be a hard guy and come out and try to knock your head off, but he has boxing skill. He has the ability to put punches together. He's got a decent jab, and he's got some defensive skill as well. Hands tucked in well there.
But Alex, there's no way that a Lou Gent in this environment, taking a huge step up in class like he's doing now, there's no way he can't be tight. He wouldn't be human if he wasn't a little tight. He's pretty dry. He had to wait in the ring quite a while Nigel Benn made his entrance, and Lou Gent does not give the appearance, at least early on, of a very warmed-up fighter.
You see the rabbit punch from Nigel. He's allowed to get away with that a lot.
And Larry O'Connell, we should note, the referee is not a referee that's quick to separate the fighters when they're in a clinch.
There you see Nigel using some of that defensive skill, but Lou Gent kept throwing. They're both men.
He kept throwing, Alex, but I'm not sure one of them did any damage at all.
One right hand did, Dan. One right hand when Nigel was bobbing down.
it on the shoulder, but boy, did that have some pop behind it. If that had been on the head, we might have had Nigel Benn down. And a solid combination by Nigel Benn.
And good
His
body
best
work.
flurry of the fight.
And good body work mixed in.
We're coming to the end of round number 1 from London, England. Here's the action at the start of round number 2. Lou Gent there in the red shorts on your left. Nigel Benn in the black. And while Benn had a strong combination in the last 30 seconds, Lou Gent finished with a good combination of his own inside the last 5 seconds of round number 1. Not a lot of backpedaling in this fight. That last right hand landed on the right shoulder of Nigel Benn. Two good lefts by Benn, and again, good work to the body. O'Connell steps in after punches are thrown and breaks the fighters.
And Lou Gent throws a half-hearted uppercut on the break. You see Lou there shake his both arms. That's the sign of a guy who's tight. As Dan pointed out, he would not be human if he did not come in here. His first time in the world stage, a huge step up in class.
And his hand speed isn't causing much of a problem for Benn. His punches are coming up short because with minimal effort, Benn's able to move out of the way.
There's the jab that Lou Gent has to find Nigel Benn with to keep him away, to keep him out of range.
Again, you see how the fighters, even though one arm is tied up, continue to hit each other.
Ooh, Benn is dangerous on the inside there, but so is Lou Gent.
Look at Lou Gent winning the crowd with that wild flurry.
Nigel
I'm not
Benn,
sure it did any damage, but it looked good.
Nigel Benn, we should point out, Dan, is very dangerous when he's on the ropes like that. He can attack lethally, bouncing off the ropes.
Well, he's one of those guys that just can automatically end the fight with one good right hand to the chin. You might get up, but the fight is over. And Lou Gent can't run the risk of putting on a show for the crowd and exposing himself. Good, solid work by Nigel Benn. And this is some of the best work we've seen by Benn in the fights we've done, Alex, of him going to the body, being patient, working the body.
He is trying to learn to pace himself better. And he is picking his shots better here, but he's doing it in a way, Dan, that has not happened in some of his less impressive performances recently. He's won all his recent fights, but this time he's letting his hands go a little bit better, a little bit more fluid, and putting punches together a little bit better. And that's because Lou Gent is not a runner. As Nigel pointed out, he comes to fight, and that's the way I like him.
Here's the end of the second.
What?
Here we go at the beginning of the third round, and Nigel Benn has been on the attack. He backed Lou Gent up against the ropes with lefts and rights to the body. Lou Gent hasn't even thrown a punch yet this round.
That's right. He's trying to cover, trying to weather the storm.
Oh, and a solid shot from Nigel Benn.
A left hook.
Yep.
Right hand and left hook behind it.
An excellent combination. Gent is up.
With almost 2.5 minutes left in round number 3.
Now can Lou Gent be smart?
He has not grabbed on yet.
Or has he thrown a punch? That last uppercut split his gloves. And there was another good short left that caught the face of Gent. And this crowd is going berserk.
And Gent's going
good right hands by Gent.
And he's hurt. Ben is hurt.
Another good right hand by Gent. What a comeback by Lou Gent.
And Gent takes the clinch. And the good news from Lou Gent's point of view is not just the comeback, but also the fact that he was not busted up. We pointed out that this is a man who busts up badly.
The crowd here can hardly believe that Lou Gent not only isn't down, but is fighting back and hurting Benn. Nigel Benn not so quick to press the attack. Oh, Remember, the 3 knockdown rule is not in effect for this fight.
But there's still more than a minute left in the round.
Right, but another knockdown doesn't automatically take Gent out of it. Oh, a wild right hand. Those are the kind of punches that Gent has to be careful. That right hand by Gent got in. Look at this. Look at this.
45 seconds left.
We want to tell our stations that if these two guys are still up, we're going to stay here between rounds. No commercials. We'll stay in London.
Good inside uppercut by Lou Gent.
And Nigel Benn just winked at his corner. What a sensational third round. Oh, there's another left hook by Benn. That's the end of the round. The lack of a 3 knockdown rule saves Lou Gent.
And rightly so, Dan. I mean, these knockdown rules are controversial, but there was a case where Lou Gent went down, and you could see that he had his wits about him, and the bell sounded, and it's good in this case that there isn't a 3 knockdown rule. The referee has the discretion. There's the first knockdown, a right and then a left behind it by Nigel Benn, and Lou Gent went down flat. Second knockdown. Lou Gent coming in, trying to jab his way in, but Nigel Benn came up from his shoe tops with a left hook, then a right hand, and the left again, the third punch, put him down. Again, he was flat, and again, he battled his way to his feet.
Now, a historical point. Lou Gent has been down 3 times before and come back to fight in a draw when he fought Henry Wharton for the Commonwealth 168-pound title. Lou Gent is no stranger to being on the canvas. Here's the start of the 4th round. But then again, Henry Wharton is not Nigel Benn. And Nigel Benn with a body shot to the ribs has hurt Lou Gent. He goes down. O'Connell sends Benn to the neutral corner. And that was good body work that sent Gent down.
I didn't see an 8 count there. I didn't see a mandatory 8.
There, that's because there was a 1. That's it, the fight's over. O'Connell stops the fight, but you're right, Alex. He didn't have a mandatory 8 count.
Well, you know something, he deserves one. I mean, he should have a chance.
What a superb effort by Nigel Benn in victory. A game effort by Lou Gent in defeat. And the 3rd round will go down as one of the most exciting rounds I have seen in a long, long time.
It sounds awfully one-sided, a round in which one man was down 3 times, Dan, but it actually was a round in which it looked like Nigel Benn could have gone down a couple of times. You see the 2 men there, the fighters hugging. Lou Gent had his day, and he acquitted himself, believe it or not, even though he was knocked down 5 times. He showed all the guts and determination. This is round 4, and there, Lou Gent going down on the right hand by Nigel Benn didn't help him. Uppercut tried by Nigel Benn here. This is after Lou got up. Lou trying to survive.
That's a body shot.
Yeah, that's the right hand that put him over. We should point that out, Dan, that at no time did Lou Gent try to clinch, which he obviously should have.
That was
the
5th knockdown of the fight by Nigel Benn, and we'll return with more boxing after this word from our ABC stations.
Still the where he has a veteran working it, Papa Joe Daskowitz, who used to handle Scott Ledoux.
He walks into the power jab.
Snap it. Did I win that round?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
If that lazy in there, I want a little stiffer right jab.
You got it. And the way to get that stiffer right jab, instead of floating back with it, step in with it with a half step. Then you got the power jab, and he eats it up, and then you got an opening for your right hook or a dropping right hand. Just step in with it with that right foot.
He's want to know if he won that last round. They want him to step in with his jab, put some power behind it, put some force behind it. The way you get power is you spread your legs. When you step in, you push off with your back foot.
Well, I told you he studied accounting. Wants to account for every round.
For every punch, yes.
But that's the legendary trainer out of the Twin Cities.
Right, Joe Daskowitz been around the fight game for a long time out of Minneapolis. His son Chuck, former fighter himself, over there in the corner too, now handling fighters. 18-7 as a